It gets better and better every time.
Thank you for your support and encouragement. I appreciate that. There you go. So, I'm glad having you here again on Borna Kazerani's show, second season. So how have you been? How are you doing? We're still in lockdown. So tell me, how are you feeling and what you're going to perform tonight?
Yeah, it feels like it's never ending. It's nice to be at home, cuddle the dog and watch Netflix. But yeah, after a while, it gets a bit repetitive. So let's hope it's going to be over soon. And in the meantime, at least we can do this amazing show, which is great.
Exactly. Do you have one of these? Hang on. Do you have one of these?
Oh, God, yeah. Plenty. Do you want me to get it before singing?
No, because you're going to sing. I'm going to wear it, and you're going to play it and sing it.
Nice.
There you go. Please wear
also had the fancy
when you go out in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So today I'm going to sing a song called Polvere di Noi, which is Dust of Us, I guess. And I wrote it for a few years back again for a baby that I never met. So it's like a lullaby, a sweet song.
Okay, let's do it. I'm ready. We are ready. We are waiting. Let's do it.
Quando anche
Thank you.
Ahmad! Hello.
Good morning, Borna. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Good morning from South Africa, obviously.
Good morning from South Africa. Why not? Okay, so before I start, like, I've got lots of questions for you here. So before I start our conversation, I would like to thank you for being alive, because your life story actually has had a great impact on the lives of others. You're an amazing person, and I can't wait to ask my questions. So do you want to say hi to those who are watching us now and later?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those who have come and join us this morning. Yeah, it's great to be on the show, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And it's going to be lots of fun. So thank you for joining the channel, guys.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about South Africa. I've never been to South Africa. Just give me some information about, like, a cultural wise and different things. Tell me about South Africa.
Well, South Africa has many cultures, lots of traditional cultures, and I mean, we have from Indian to Muslim to Christianity to Judaism. We have lots. We have so many cultures, different cultures, and people are just great. You know, obviously South Africa went through apartheid, so that is out of the question now. Everyone's well integrated, you know, mixed race couples, everything is great, everyone's happy. And yeah, like any other country, we have our political problems that we all go through. But yeah, at the moment, we're just all trying to get by with the current COVID-19 that's been around. So yeah, our country's in lockdown at the moment. So you know, everything's a bit quiet at the moment. The curfew times, you know, everyone's walking around with masks, and yeah, so we're just trying to deal with the current situation.
Crazy things, I understand. So what is your obsession with water and ocean? So I want you to start from the beginning. Tell me what happened at the early age in your life that you became so interested in water and swimming in the ocean. Talk to me. Tell me.
So, so I grew up right next to the ocean. I pretty much live right on the beach. And yeah, I mean, growing up with my dad, you know, my dad obviously taught me a lot about the ocean. My dad's a fisherman, so he taught me the importance of the ocean and how much the ocean means to us. And that we live off the ocean as well. So I mean, I got involved in all of that as well, and that's how I grew a certain respect and love for the ocean. And yeah, I mean, I remember days where we used to go fishing during school days. We would go fishing after school and then kind of sleep over on the beach, and then go straight from the beach to school again the following day. And yeah, I was, as my parents say, I was pretty much a water baby. I I love being in water, and absolutely just to me it feels like a second home. That's why, you know, no one calls me Aquaman, but more Shark Boy than anything else.
I know. We'll get there. That's very interesting. And what did you do during those years? So were you, did you study? Were you working as a lifeguard, or what were you doing?
So in my final year of being at high school, I got into lifesaving, professional lifesaving, and I absolutely enjoyed it. It was amazing being able to be there and providing a service to my community, you know, being there for people when they need rescuing. It's just, you know, we all grow up wanting to be superheroes. And I thought, you know, being either a paramedic or being a lifeguard or being a fireman, you know, those type of jobs, it's very rewarding in terms of, you know, being there for people who need help when they least expect it.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And now I want to take you back to a day, or to the day when your life changed forever. 13th of August 2006. What happened?
So I joined my life-saving team in 1999. I started out as a lifeguard, and you know, just being there and, you know, getting used to being a lifeguard and going through all the phases of being a lifeguard. On that day, which was a Sunday, around about 11 a.m., we were training in a place called Muizenberg Beach, which is right around the corner from where I stay. It's in False Bay, which is in Cape Town, South Africa. So I'm from Cape Town, and the best city in South Africa. So if you guys come and visit, please come to Cape Town. And yeah, I mean, we were training at about 11 a.m. We started training, and we did a training exercise called multiple patient rescues. So what would happen is you'd have people in the water, you would launch a rescue boat into the water, pick up the people, and then bring them back to the shore. And myself, my brother, and a friend of mine, we were going to act as people who needed rescuing. And at about 5 minutes past 11, my instructor, who was standing on the beach, blew his whistle, and my friend was in the shallows, I was in the middle, and my brother was about 10 meters away from me in terms of ocean depth. So the lifeguards would launch the rescue boat, pick up my friend in the shallows, pick me up, and then my brother, and then bring us back to the shore. So it's pretty simple. And yeah, at that moment, I remember the rescue boat entering the water, and it was going towards my friend in the shallows. And at that point, I decided to turn around to just look at my brother. And as I was looking at my brother, something caught the corner of my eye, coming from my right-hand side, moving towards my brother. And I kind of saw the shadow just moving like that towards my brother. And at that point, I decided to have a look and see what was attached to this triangle. And I prayed at that point that it was either a seal or a friendly dolphin. And as I looked underneath the water, that's when I saw a massive 4.7 meter great white shark moving towards my brother.
Oh my
yeah.
God. It's like as big as my room.
Yeah, it was humongous. She was massive. And as I looked underneath the water, as lifeguards, we are trained to assess a situation and not panic. So what I did was I turned around to look at the lifeguards, and I remember screaming at them, and I said, guys, get my brother out of the water, get him out of the water. And as they drove past me, they had sort of a look of confusion on their faces. And I remember them looking at me, and I just screamed, get him out, get him out. They drove past me, and I just thought to myself, you know what, they're not going to get to my brother in time. So what I did was I started drumming on top of the water to try and draw the shark's attention off my brother, to give the lifeguards enough time to pull him into the rescue boat. And that's when I just saw that massive fin on top of the water just turn and then come towards me. And as they pulled my brother into the rescue boat, I was left in the water with this 4.7 meter monster. At the time, I was kind of floating in the water, trying to see where she was. And that's when she came up from my right-hand side, so close to my body that I could actually crawl along her body as she swam in front of me. The next thing I know, I kind of lost my balance in the water as her dorsal fin hit as a pectoral fin hit my leg, and I kind of spiraled against her body. My elbow eventually hit her tail, and the next thing I remember is this tail just went crazy in the water, and there was just splashing everywhere. And that's when she was actually trying to turn her body around and come towards me. In a matter of seconds, I remember being face to face with this great white shark. And I remember clearly just seeing this massive dome shape just coming towards me. And then in the background, just this tail, this massive tail, just propelling this dome shape towards myself. And at that point, I looked, and that's when I saw the lifeguards pull my brother into the water. The next thing I know, the shark came towards me, and the only thing I could think of was the movie Free Willy.
Ja. Oh my God.
So
And then
obviously
did
in the
you
movie,
remember? Okay, yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah. So obviously in the movie Free Willy, the boy rides the whale. So that's the only thing that came to my mind at the time. So as the shark came towards me, I remembered from watching a lot of Discovery Channel that just before a shark attacks, it rolls its eyes backwards. And at that point, I decided to take advantage of that opportunity. And as the shark rolled its eyes backwards, I remember reaching out towards this jaws that were kind of just gnawing at me. And I remember reaching out with my right hand, putting it on the shark's nose and using its strength to move me out of the way. And yeah, the next thing I know, I kind of pushed on the shark's head and the head moved past me. And all I had to do now was take my right leg and throw my right leg over the shark's body. And then kind of just scoot on back and hold on to the dorsal fin and maybe steer it back to the shore.
Why?
It's the only thing I could think of because, yeah, it's impossible to outswim a great white shark. I don't know what Michael Phelps was trying in one video where he tried to outswim a great white.
No.
But yeah, there I was, and I tried to take my right leg, throw it over the shark's body, and my right leg did not want to come forward. And I couldn't understand why this right leg was not coming forward. So I kept tugging on it the whole time. And I remember just turning around to see where my right leg was. And that's when I saw that half my leg was in the shark's mouth already.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm shaking. I'm just imagining if I was in that situation and said, come and get me and go. I don't want to struggle. And then do you remember what happened after she attacked you? Do you remember anything, or no, you just passed out, or what happened?
So
How
at
did you
that point,
survive?
yeah, so at that point I was pretty much still alive, awake. Everything was kind of, my adrenaline was just pumping. And yeah, I remember she kind of just shook me under the water like that. I remember I was moving backwards and forwards in the water. And I remember looking at my brother, and I screamed at my brother and I said, Tariq, please don't let me die. I remember just reaching out for him. And that's when she pulled me underneath the water and dragged me for about 50 meters towards the depth of the ocean. 50 meters is obviously the size of an Olympic swimming pool. And she dragged me underneath the water. And the worst part of it all was listening to the sound of the rescue boat's engine disappearing in the background as she dragged me further and further towards the depths of the ocean.
Oh
Because that sound was the only hope of survival, the only hope of rescue. And yeah, I remember hanging on the side of her body as she dragged me. And I got to a point where I thought I was going to drown because I couldn't breathe. And I remember just using my leg that was in her mouth to pull myself to the side of her head and then try everything they tell you to do on the Discovery Channel.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That's shit and scary. So, okay, let's move on. You scared me enough. Thank you very much. So tell me, well, in that terrible incident, you lost one of your most important parts of your body, which is your leg. How did you cope with it mentally afterwards? And what were you thinking, for example, when you were standing in front of the mirror and you were holding your crutches, under your arm? And because you know what, many people may suffer from a long time depression in such a crazy and critical situation. But it seems that that incident somehow actually opened a new window and a new world for you. Talk to me about that.
So just going back to the water, eventually my leg broke off inside the water. And at that point, I didn't know that my leg had broken off. And I remember swimming to the surface where my brother pulled me into the rescue boat, and we were rushed back to the shore where I was airlifted to the nearest hospital. I remember they put me on this hospital bed, and it had the little wheels. So I had that typical Grey's Anatomy ER moment where they're moving me on the bed and you see these lights go past you and the doctors are just talking over you. And yeah, I mean, I woke up after my operation. I woke up and my brother was standing over me and he was kind of crying. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I just want to say thank you for saving my life. I know what you did." And I said, "Well, that's not important. The most important thing is that we are speaking to each other, and that's the most important thing." And he said, "I know, but unfortunately, you didn't come out so great." And I looked at him and I said, "What do you mean I didn't come out so great?" And he said, "Have a look underneath the blanket." And as I lift the blanket up, I saw that half my leg was amputated and bitten off. And yeah, I remember lying in hospital and I was just so sad and so depressed because growing up in a sporting family, my legs were kind of my strong point of my body. I stood goalkeeper in one of our strongest soccer teams in South Africa. And yeah, it was just
tears in my eyes.
And
Wow.
it was just really tough, you know, having this leg for 21 years and all of a sudden everything becomes different. You know, things like simple things like going to the bathroom, taking a shower, all these things were completely different. And I remember just lying in hospital when my brother came up to me, I think on the third day, and he came into the hospital room and he said, "Ahmad, do you know about the Paralympics?" And I said, "Paralympics?" And he said, "Yes, it's the Olympics, basically, for people with disabilities." And I was like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. And then he told me about top South African athletes like Natalie du Toit, Oscar Pistorius at the time, and, you know, telling me how amazing these athletes are. And I thought to myself, wow, like, you know, I can be one of these athletes. And that's when I decided to, you know, fight back.
We will get there. We will get there. We will get there. We will get there. Let's go. Let's follow my question. So, do you want me to repeat that question? I'm just wondering that how did you cope after the incident actually occurred? So, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing mentally? Able to understand about your new life and tell me about that. As I've said, well, people, or I don't know if I was in your situation, probably I could be depressed for whole my life. So how did you make a deal with that? Talk to me about that.
So it was pretty hard with trying to deal with everything, trying to, you know, get to the fact that a part of my body is now different. And it was pretty tough mentally on me because, you know, obviously coming home and, you know, things were so different. Everything that we take for granted, like every simple things, like just getting up and, you know, walking outside, you know, all these things all of a sudden became different. I mean, I have to wake up in the middle of the night, put on a leg, go to the bathroom, come back, take off the leg, climb back into bed. So all of these things became different, where I believe that in a situation like that, your support base has got to be really good. And in my case, I have my mom, my dad, and my brother, and they are an unbelievable support base. Before I even got home from the hospital, my dad installed railings into the shower so I can hold on. There's a seat in the shower. A lot of things were adjusted in the house, and so mentally it was really tough on me. You know, usually I have like a little road over here, like where I stay. It's just a little parking lot, and we usually play like a bit of soccer, a bit of football inside this parking lot. And it was really tough, you know, just seeing my friends playing in the road. And I kind of just sat there looking through the window and watching them play soccer. And it's at moments like that where you really think about your disability. And I mean, up until today, I still struggle when I see people doing easy things that I wish I could do. But my disability kind of limits me from doing that. But like they say, you know, life is something that you just got to deal with, and whether you accept the limitations or not is your choice, and I do not accept those limitations.
And I love that. That's why I wanted to have a conversation with you, because you're a life coach somehow, and also motivational and inspirational, actually, speaker. What do you usually talk about when, like, what do you want to convey through your words? Like when you go to these seminars or, you know, conferences, and when you speak, talk to me about that. So what do you usually talk about? Because people come to see you as someone who is a life survivor.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I am totally blessed in that situation where people are inspired by my story. I get to travel the world to tell people about my story and to just talk about how you can go from being an everyday person, living in a very small community, with a very small family, and how that, you know, living in such a small place, you can actually make a big mark on the world. And that's what I did. I decided that I was going to make my mark in the world, that people would remember me for everything I've achieved and for what I've done. And I decided to make that mark one country at a time by traveling the world, talking to different colleges, different schools, different businesses, and having those people come to me when I'm done speaking and saying, wow, like, you've really opened my eyes, you've made me want to live a better life, you've survived such a situation and you've gone on to achieve so much more. I find it so great that people are inspired by this, and it just spurs me on to be more motivated to change the world. And I mean, being on social media with you is one of those aspects where people can actually see that despite everything I've gone through, you can still go out and you achieve your dreams.
Of course, of course. Well, you experienced numerous international swimming competition, including 3 Paralympic Games. And I want to congratulate you, really, for being such amazing swimmer and also human being. Because your life experience actually is quite inspiring. So you experienced numerous international swimming competition, as I've said. So, and when did swimming become so serious for you? So much so that you participated in a large number of international competition and won many medals.
So once I got out of hospital, a good friend of mine who also lost her leg in a motorcycle accident, she inspired me to get into the water, as she was a swimmer herself, a world-renowned swimmer, a world-renowned athlete. And she was South Africa's, or actually she was the first person in the world with a disability to compete at the able-bodied Olympic Games.
Wow.
And yeah, she told me, Ahmad, get into the water and see what you can do. And she took me to her training facility. And I got into the swimming pool, and I took to the swimming pool like a shark in the ocean. I absolutely fell in love with the swimming pool, and she introduced me to her coach, who became my lifelong coach in my training, in my swimming. And yeah, she told me, Ahmad, you know, follow me in my footsteps. Let's go to the Paralympic Games. And in 2008, I qualified for my first Paralympic Games, and I was on my way to China, Beijing, where I competed for 2 South Africans.
Fantastic. So, okay, that's interesting. Now I want to change the atmosphere. I want to give you a break. And we made an agreement previously. You know that I want to grab your camera. There is an option. You can reverse it and take us with you to give us a tour, please. Show us something in your room.
Okay, so yeah, the house is a bit messy, but I'll give you guys a quick tour.
Trust the medals. All right, let's see.
So yeah, that's my little cat place over there. My cat is actually sitting just out the window. So he's been meowing continuously to try and get inside. There's our kitchen over here as well. That's our garage down there. And if I take you down the passage, sorry, these are all my dad. My dad builds cupboards, and he enjoys like using his hands and handicraft. And then this over here is my room. So if you have a look at my room, I'm sort of like kind of quite a geeky person. So I've got like my Marvel comic collection. I've got my DC universe, and then I've got a lot of Funko Pops.
I love that.
So I enjoy my Funko Pops. I love gaming, and yeah, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And then I've got like my little Zen corner. So I've got sort of like things that just help me mentally. So like this little corner just helps me a lot in terms of meditation, those type of things as well. Got my little Zen garden over here. And then, yeah, my TV with my PlayStation. And then, yeah, my little lighthouse. That always shows me the light when things are dark. So yeah, that's pretty much my room. So let me take you to the middle corner.
Yes, that's what I want to see.
Right. So if we have a look over here, so these are these are just some of the medals. These are life-saving medals, and then over here we've got like different various national championship medals. These are some of the countries that I've gone to. So this is the London Paralympic Games. This over here is the World Swimming Championships in Montreal, Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. IPC Swimming National Championships in Scotland. So yeah, these are just some of the medals that I've got.
There are a lot, they're not just some.
And then if we look in here, this is sort of like my closet. So I collect things from different countries, and I kind of just throw them in here. So that over there is the mascot from Rio 2016. Yeah, I collect all these things from China. There's some of the caps. So that's the Beijing Paralympic Games. There's some more stuff over here. That's my brother over there. He's just sort of like chilling over here. That's my brother there. So my brother is a South African lifeguard, and he's pretty good at what he does as well. So that's his medal over there. That's his World Life-Saving Championship medal.
Wow.
So he competed in Holland, and he got that medal. And then, yeah, that's just some more medals, even more medals.
Oh my God, there are a lot. Wow.
Yeah, and then obviously the house is full of these things since it's COVID-19. And then, yeah, this is one of my greatest achievements, working for the United Nations as a global shark guardian.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much a tour of my house.
Okay, Ahmed, can you put the camera somewhere and show us the leg that you've lost? And I can ask one of my questions. I want to see how you wear that legs. Is that easy to wear? Is that not easy? Because people have no clue. They think that they're just wear it. Okay, can you go
So at the moment,
back? Well, I can't see anything. Just can. Okay, which leg is that? Which one is that? Right?
Excuse my shoe.
Okay.
So this is the leg over here.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's very easy to take off. So if I take the leg off, so this is my knee. This over here is my knee. So I can still extend this knee.
Do you feel anything there?
So yeah, it's I do have a lot of feeling in my stump as well, which is a good thing because when I walk, I can actually feel movement. And then yeah, this is just the leg. So this is sponsored by a company called Ossa. And as you can see, again, we have Superman. So I love my superheroes. And yeah, the leg just goes in simple as that. And then usually we are good to go.
Wow. Well, I love your pants. That's very interesting.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right. So, when I was reading your biography, actually, there is a severe or like a high paradox in your life. In one hand, water has taken away one of the most important organs of your body. On the other hand, it has made you seen in the world and you've become a champion in swimming. So how do you translate this? And have you ever looking at this from my point of view?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, things changed and they changed for the best. And obviously going from shark attack survivor to Paralympic champion is unbelievable. You know, just going from, which we think as nothing, just going from a little kid living in a small village and going from that to becoming a known name around the world. And yeah, I think, you know, during that transition, I somehow developed the nickname Shark Boy. And yeah, just Shark Boy taking over the world. But what was nice is that in the beginning, I told you that we all want to be a superhero. Each and every one of us wants to. I mean, each and every one of us. You know, like I said, like superheroes really mean a lot to me, as you can see from my prosthetic leg and all my little Funko Pops in my room. Growing up, just reading comic books and, you know, seeing what superheroes, what they do. I myself thought, you know, I want to be a superhero. And eventually the nickname Shark Boy came about. And yeah, I'm glad that I can kind of provide a service to not just my community anymore, but to the whole world. And be known as Shark Boy, the superhero. and if the viewers are thinking, but there is a Shark Boy already, he did not go out there and deserve the name as much as I did, okay?
That's really true, actually. That's fair. That's fair what you're saying. Okay, well, that's interesting. So, I've been so lucky as I have a chance to meet amazing people like you on my show. And of course, you're one of those people who I love to meet in my life, in reality. So I've spoken with, I don't know, lots of people over the past few months, and I haven't met them actually in the reality. I spoke with people all around the world on my show. We need more people like you on the planet. And Ahmed, it was my pleasure having you on my show, and thank you so very much for an awesome conversation. But before I'm gonna wrap it up, is there anything else that you want to say and I probably didn't ask you? Is there something that you would like to talk?
So yeah, one thing that people find quite strange is that I now work all over the world to protect sharks and other marine life. I also protect the bugger that bit my leg. And her name is now Scarlet. And the reason, and what was nice is that I got to name her. And the reason why I named her Scarlet is because she had a massive scar on the side of her face. And, you know, just when I was fighting for my life, I actually took my hands and put it into the scar. And I tried to pull her scar open, and she shook me underneath the water, and that's when my leg broke in half. So then she got tagged. She was a tagged shark. And so that's how we got to track her. And when we found her, they told me, Ahmed, would you like to name her? And I did. And her name is Scarlet. And she's now 6 meters. So she's a lot bigger than than she was.
That's crazy.
And no, she's thriving in the ocean, doing very well. And yeah, so I mean, not only am I there to help the people of the world trying to find peace and happiness, but on the same time, I'm there for the animals of the world to try and, you know, for our oceans to try and better everything so that we as people, we live off the ocean. So trying to make a better place in the world for both us and our marine life. And just my final word to everyone. I just want to say that go out there, believe in yourselves, never give up on your dreams. It took me to survive a shark attack to realize my dreams and go out there and achieve them. So go out there right now. Do not give up on your dreams. Guys, live of life, live happiness, and love life. It is one of the greatest gifts that we all can get, and you should go out there and try and make the best of it.
That was amazing.
Borna, thank you so much for having me on the show. And I wish you and all the viewers the greatest of happy days. And I absolutely love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad. It was my pleasure having you. And thank you. I hope to meet you one day, as I've said, in the reality.
Definitely. Whenever I'm in Australia, Melbourne, I will look you up.
Sure.
And we can go on a nice and you can show me around town.
Yeah, we've got lots of sharks here. You know what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
I love that. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you, and you're gonna have an amazing day, and I'll catch you later.
All right, cheers, Borna.
Bye. Bye.